Oregon is burning through history right now. 37 fires, 0 full containment, and the season still has months left to run. The Big Grass fire alone has erased more land than Rhode Island. The Grasshopper Fire is the size of a major city, and that's just 2 of the 37. Meanwhile, in Alaska, a fire went from a backyard to 1,500 acres in 7 hours flat, and it happened yesterday while you were sleeping. Here is the number that should stop every American in their tracks: 169% above the 10-year average for acres burned, and it's only August. The U.S. has called in soldiers, military aircraft, and international crews from 2 countries, and the system is still maxed out at National Preparedness Level 5. If you search Oregon Wildfire 2026 or Wildfire Update today, this is the most complete picture you are going to get, sourced directly from NIFC and the NWS. I'm going to take you through every major fire zone, the official NWS weather pattern driving this crisis, and exactly what comes next. Let's go. Oregon first, because the Northwest is the epicenter, and Oregon is carrying the heaviest load of any state in the country right now, per the National Interagency Coordination Center. The Grasshopper Fire on Mount Hood National Forest sits 10 miles east of Government Park. 90,130 acres, 47% contained, with active running and wind-driven fire behavior. Wind-driven runs, that means the fire is not just burning, it is racing. When wind hits dry timber at these fuel moisture levels, the fire front can outrun a person trying to escape on foot. The Hagen Fire on Umatilla National Forest, 26 miles east of Pendleton, 56,419 acres, only 14% contained. Running, torching, and spotting behavior confirmed. Spotting, that's critical to understand. Embers from the Hagen Fire are landing ahead of the main front and starting new ignitions. Firefighters cannot always catch those spot fires before they grow. Evacuations are in effect for the Hagen Fire area. If you are in eastern Oregon near Pendleton or the Umatilla River corridor, your county sheriff's office is your primary source for evacuation orders. The Wright Spring Fire on Fremont-Winema National Forest, 2 miles west of Sprague River, 53,628 acres at 51% contained. Structures and critical infrastructure threatened. The Big Grass Fire in the Vail District, 25 miles southwest of Jordan Valley, 578,000 acres. 71% contained, and ICNINOT's acreage has been revised with more precise mapping. The Roe Creek Complex south of Fossil, 373,000 acres, 89% contained, is in mop-up. But crews are warning visible smoke columns will increase today along U.S. Highway 26. Do not mistake that smoke for a new outbreak. It is residual heat burning inside the established perimeter. The incident management team confirms it is within control lines. Monitor, but do not panic. Also in Oregon, the Fielder Mountain Fire 1 mile west of Rogue River, 573 acres at 29% contained, with numerous structures threatened in the Grants Pass unit. Now Washington State, where the Little Giant Fire on Okanogan-Wenatchee National Forest has become the single largest active fire threat in the country, 132,990 acres. 10% contained, that is not a typo. With flanking, backing, and group torching all confirmed, this fire is actively growing on multiple edges at the same time. Evacuations are in effect. Australian firefighting crews from the ACT Rural Fire Service are on the ground right now at the Little Giant Fire, operating out of Plain Fire Camp in the Chihuahua Valley, confirmed per ACTRFS deployment reports. The Three Queens Fire near Snoqualmie Pass, 3,600 acres, 2% contained, sits directly alongside the I-90 corridor, one of Washington's most traveled mountain passes. Know this before you drive east. The Sinlahecan Fire 1 mile west of Tenasket, 152,000 acres, 44% contained, has a cost to date of $54.4 million, per the official IMSR report. The Luna Fire in North Cascades National Park, 10 miles north of New Holland, 4,475 acres, 0% contained, with active flanking, torching, and spotting. Structures threatened. 0% contained on the Luna Fire means no control line has been established anywhere around its perimeter. Every acre it burns today is a new acre that was not burning yesterday. This one needs watching. Now, Alaska, because the Mukluk Fire near Tok is 24 hours old and it is still not controlled. Here is the timeline sourced directly from the Alaska Division of Forestry and Fire Protection. Noon, August 17th. Fire reported in the backyard of a residence near milepost 1316 on the Alaska Highway, close to Sundog Trail. Early afternoon, 20 acres, 7 p.m. over 1,500 acres. 75 times larger in 7 hours. That growth rate tells you everything you need to know about how dangerous the fire environment in the Upper Tanana Valley was yesterday afternoon. The suspected ignition source, per the Alaska Division of Forestry, is a downed arcing power line near Red Fox Drive. The official cause investigation is still open. That has not been formally confirmed yet. Between 6 and 10 structures confirmed burned. The National Weather Service had a red flag warning in effect for the Upper Tanana Valley, citing hot, dry, and windy conditions, sustained winds around 20 miles per hour. Rain fell over the fire area late Monday night and helped moderate fire behavior, according to the 9 p.m. update from the Alaska Division of Forestry. But the fire was still actively burning as of that report. If you are in Tok and still in the GO evacuation zone between Moosehorn Road and Sundog Trail, do not return until Alaska State Troopers and the Division of Forestry issue an official all clear. The 2 shelters remain open: Tok Dog Mushers Association Hall at 1311 Alaska Highway and Tok School on John Summer Drive. Both accept pets. Check acfireinfo.com for real-time updates. No drones over Tok. A temporary flight restriction is in place. 1 drone in that airspace shuts down every helicopter making water drops. Do not be the reason aerial operations get grounded. Down to Nevada and Utah, the Great Basin. The Shoshone Fire in Churchill County is the newest large fire on the national radar. 793 acres, 0% contained, lightning caused. Active fire behavior including rapid spread in steep, rugged terrain, short grass, brush, and juniper. Winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. 115 personnel assigned as of the August 17th IMSR. The important detail about juniper: it burns intensely and retardant lines have reduced effectiveness in heavy juniper stands. This limits what aerial resources can do and puts more pressure on ground crews in difficult terrain. The Black Canyon Fire on Manti La Sal National Forest, 29 miles southwest of Price, Utah, 3,563 acres at 36% contained. Active flanking and torching, evacuations in effect. The Widemouth 2 Fire on Fish Lake National Forest, 2 miles southwest of Kanosh, Utah, 129,000 acres at 84% contained, still under evacuation orders despite high containment. Now New Mexico and the Frijoles Fire on Santa Fe National Forest is the situation I want you to watch most closely over the next 48 hours because it is moving in the wrong direction. 3 miles east of Condillo, 11,325 acres as of August 17th. Containment, 9%, down from 12% the day before. That downward trend is the red flag here. The official fire behavior description from the Santa Fe National Forest Incident Team: extreme. Specifically, running, crowning, and long-range spotting, all 3 simultaneously. That combination is the worst-case fire behavior profile. Crowning means the fire has left the ground and is burning through the forest canopy at speed. Once a fire crowns, ground crews cannot safely engage it directly. Aerial resources become the primary suppression tool. Camino de Cannon in Condillo. Leave now, no exceptions. Condillo and Cerro Pinon remainder. Set, packed, route identified, ready to move in minutes. Borrego Mesa and Cordova, ready. Prepare today. In Northern California, the MP-18 fire on the Hoopa Wildland Fire Department jurisdiction, 2 miles north of Hoopa, 6,277 acres at 19% contained. Numerous structures threatened. Active flanking, backing, and spotting on the MP-18 fire. 1,759 personnel assigned. The cost to date is already $15.8 million per the official IMSR data. In Southern California, the timber fire on Los Padres National Forest, 4 miles southeast of Big Sur, 5,103 acres at 17% contained, 2,067 personnel on scene. In Montana and Idaho, the Sand Creek Fire on Beaverhead Deer Lodge National Forest, 5 miles east of Wisdom, 31,652 acres, 1% contained, structures threatened, evacuations in effect. 1% containment on Sand Creek means nearly the entire perimeter is open fire edge. Crews are focused on structure protection right now. That means saving buildings, not yet building containment line around the whole fire. Colorado, the Gold Mountain Fire on Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forest, 2 miles north of RA, 39,691 acres at 87% contained. Rain helped yesterday. The Aspen Acres Fire in Custer County, Colorado, 102,000 acres, 72% contained, has destroyed 915 structures and cost $101 million so far this season. In Minnesota, the Bear Trap Fire on Superior National Forest, 20 miles north of Ely, 30,110 acres at 45% contained. Precipitation fell over the fire area yesterday, helpful. Now, the resource picture, because the scale of what has been deployed to fight these fires is something most Americans have never seen before, and the numbers need to be said out loud. Per the IMSR dated August 17th, 591 crews, 1,590 engines, 166 helicopters, and 28,710 total personnel assigned nationwide. 3 15-member incident management teams and 196 fireline personnel from Australia and New Zealand are deployed to the Northwest and Great Basin, confirmed in the official IMSR International Resources section. A Canadian large air tanker and lead plane from Manitoba are based at Boise. 2 U.S. Air Force Reserve C-130 tankers are at Klamath Falls, Oregon. 2 California Air National Guard C-130s are at Redding, California. 240 soldiers from the 1st Battalion, 23rd Infantry Regiment, 7th Infantry Division out of Joint Base Lewis McChord are deployed to the Modrite Fire in Washington, with a military incident management organization supporting them. When the United States Army is cutting fireline because civilian firefighting capacity is exhausted, that is the operational definition of National Preparedness Level 5. Every lever has been pulled. The consequence of this for new fire starts today. If a new ignition occurs in Oregon or Washington right now, the initial attack resources available to stop it fast are thinner than in any recent year. NIFC states it clearly. Most wildfires are stopped within 24 hours when initial attack resources arrive fast enough. When those resources are already committed, that 24-hour window becomes harder to hit. That is the compounding risk of a level 5 season. It is not just the fires already burning that are dangerous. It is how much harder it becomes to stop the next one before it becomes the 81st. Now, the weather, and I want to walk through exactly what the NWS Weather Prediction Center said in their official forecast discussions published Monday, August 17th, because precision matters here. The WPC Short-Range Forecast Discussion, issued at 3:04 p.m. Eastern on August 17th, identifies a lengthy cold front stretching from the southern high plains all the way to New England today. That front is driving thunderstorm development today across parts of the Ohio Valley, the Central Appalachians, and the Midwest. WPC has a slight risk for excessive rainfall in the Ohio Valley and Central Appalachians. In the fire weather context, the concern with those storms is lightning ahead of the rain. Dry lightning is an ignition source. Any thunderstorm cell that produces lightning before significant rain reaches the ground creates new fire risk. Across the South and Southeast, the WPC discussion is explicit. Dangerous heat persists today and is building into the Southwest early this week. Extreme heat warnings are in effect from Dallas-Fort Worth east to the Southeast coast. WPC describes overnight lows so warm, into the low 80s in some locations, combined with high dew points, that there is, quote, little to no relief from the scorching daytime highs available overnight. That is a direct health threat. For Oregon and Washington fire weather specifically, the IMSR Predictive Services discussion confirms subtle warming is expected across the Pacific Northwest today. Not dramatic, but it is additive to an already critical fire environment. A weak upper-level disturbance is also tracking through Northern California this afternoon, per the IMSR discussion. This will bring gusty winds and low relative humidity to Northeast California, Northern Nevada, and Southeast Oregon. That corridor of gusty winds and low humidity overlaps directly with active fire areas on the Oregon-Nevada border. The same system may trigger dry thunderstorms over eastern Idaho into western Montana today. Now, the 5-day outlook, and I will give you exactly what the WPC Extended Forecast Discussion says, issued Monday at 1:49 p.m. Eastern. This is official NWS guidance, not interpretation. WPC describes a strong upper-level high positioned over the Four Corners states through late this week, with ridging expanding north through the Intermountain West and gradually shifting east toward the high plains next week. Plain language, a heat dome is parked over the southwest and its northern arm is keeping Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Nevada, and Utah dry and warm through Thursday or Friday. No quick fix coming. WPC forecasts that monsoonal moisture will continue streaming north under the ridge, bringing scattered convection across the west through Thursday. This moisture is a double-edged sword for fire country. On one side, isolated rainfall is possible, including over some fire areas. On the other, WPC specifically warns that localized flash flooding is likely over burn scars because scorched soil cannot absorb rain the way intact vegetation can. A burn scar flash flood can move debris and ash miles downstream within minutes. If you are camping or recreating near any burned area in the west this week, be aware of that risk even if the sky looks clear upstream. Now, the key uncertainty flagged by WPC, and this is their exact language. Another emerging source of uncertainty is the progression of the Eastern Pacific closed low and trough. What WPC is describing, most computer models agree that a shortwave, a pulse of energy in the upper atmosphere, will eject into the Pacific Northwest by this weekend, likely peaking Saturday. A shortwave arrival in the Pacific Northwest could mean cooler temperatures, increased humidity, and some precipitation over fire areas, a brief moderation of conditions, not a season-ending event. But WPC is explicit that differences with timing and amplitude persist among the models. That means forecasters do not yet agree on how strong that shortwave will be or exactly when it arrives. This is genuine uncertainty. What I can tell you is what NWS is saying, more likely than not, some energy arrives in the Northwest by Saturday. What I cannot tell you whether it is strong enough to meaningfully reduce fire weather conditions. We will watch the next 48 to 72 hours of model runs closely. If the shortwave signal strengthens and models converge on timing, that becomes a much more concrete forecast. Right now, it is conditional. For the eastern U.S., WPC's extended discussion shows troughing gradually deepening across the east through the weekend, lessening heat concerns across the southeast while bringing thunderstorms to the eastern seaboard Friday and Saturday. Hawaii update. Per the WPC Hawaii Extended Forecast Discussion, Tropical Storm Lala is moving away from the islands with impacts diminishing. A normal trade wind pattern will return, with windward shower activity resuming. WPC is also tracking a second tropical wave well southeast of Hawaii. 50% development chance as of early Monday. Track westward, most guidance keeps it south of the islands. Monitoring continues. Now, the year-to-date context, because the numbers behind the 2026 wildfire season tell a story that goes beyond any single fire, and you need to see the full picture to understand why this season is different. Per NIFC statistics through August 17th, 48,960 wildfires in 2026. Compare that to 43,989 by the same date in 2025. But the fire count gap is smaller than the acreage gap. 2025 burned 3.77 million acres by mid-August. 2026 has burned 7.27 million, nearly double in burned area. That gap between fire count and acreage tells a specific story. Fires in 2026 are not just more numerous, they are significantly larger on average. The ones that escape initial attack are escaping much further. For historical comparison from the NIFC data, 2023 burned only 1.7 million acres by mid-August. 2022 burned 5.9 million. 2026 at 7.2 is the highest in this dataset. The 10-year average from 2016 through 2025 is 4.3 million acres through August 17th. 2026 is at 169% of that benchmark, not a rounding error, a historic departure. Oregon State Representative Mark Owens, who represents House District 60, a district larger than Indiana, has been public about why he believes this season reached this scale, and his argument is worth understanding. His district has seen 3 megafires, fires exceeding 100,000 acres this summer alone. Big Grass, Coleman Creek, and Second Flat. He calls the state's fire management posture reactive and says it needs to change. His argument, high-intensity megafires destroy native sagebrush habitat, allow invasive annual grasses to establish, and create even more explosive fuel loads for future fires. The cycle compounds itself. The tools he advocates, prescribed burns, mechanical thinning, and targeted grazing to reduce fuel loads before fire season, not after. It is a proactive versus reactive debate that this season has made impossible to ignore. All right, what you need to do right now, and I mean right now if you are anywhere in fire country today, these are official sources and official actions, not general advice. If you are in an active go evacuation zone, Tok Alaska, Condillo, New Mexico, or any zone in Eastern Oregon or Washington State, stop watching this video and follow the instructions of emergency personnel immediately. For fire location and official perimeter maps, inciweb.wildfire.gov is the federal government's authoritative real-time source. This is where incident management teams publish official acreage, containment, and evacuation data. For red flag warnings and fire weather watches in your specific area, go to weather.gov, enter your location, and look at the active alerts. A red flag warning means critical fire weather is happening or imminent right now. For the Mukluk Fire, Alaska wildland fire information at acfireinfo.com is the official update source. The Alaska Division of Forestry posts updates there directly, not on social media first, there first. For evacuation orders in Oregon, your county sheriff's office is the legal authority, not the fire agency, not NIFC, not this channel, Matilla County for Hagen, Lake County for Wright Spring, Crook County for Roe Creek. For evacuation orders in Washington, Chelan County for Little Giant, Catatas County for Three Queens, Okanogan County for Sinlahican. Check those county sheriff's social media accounts and websites directly. For the Frijoles Fire in New Mexico, Santa Fe County Sheriff is the evacuation authority. The Santa Fe National Forest posts fire behavior and resource information, both sources needed. Neither alone gives you the complete picture. 3 actions every person in fire country should take before tonight. Identify 2 exit routes from your home, locate your important documents and medications, and sign up for your county's emergency alert system. Most counties have a free wireless emergency alert sign up. It takes 2 minutes, and it means you get notified the moment an evacuation order is issued for your area, before the news, before social media, before this channel. The bottom line on the forecast: the high-pressure pattern driving this fire weather holds through most of the week. A weekend shortwave for the Pacific Northwest is possible but uncertain in strength and timing. No significant precipitation relief is forecast for the most active fire areas: Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah before Saturday at the earliest, and that Saturday shortwave still carries meaningful uncertainty per WPC. Oregon Wildfire 2026, Mukluk Fire, Little Giant Fire, Frijoles Fire, National Preparedness Level 5. If you searched any of those terms, bookmark this channel because we update every time the official data changes. Every piece of data in this video comes from NIFC, the IMSR dated August 17th, the NWS Weather Prediction Center, and the Alaska Division of Forestry and Fire Protection. Sources are in the description. If this breakdown was useful, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The next update drops the moment NWS or NIFC releases new data on the weekend shortwave or any change in fire conditions. Stay on top of it, stay ahead of it, and stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.